Welcome back to the WHHI-TV Daily News. Joining me now is Ansley Howze. She is the Executive Director for the Southern Coast American Heart Association. And you know, summertime, Ansley, is a time when a lot of people are taking some time off, maybe going on a road trip, maybe flying somewhere, maybe even just doing a staycation, which is all lots of fun, but there are some considerations to take into account if you are a person who has had a history of any kind of a heart issue or a stroke. So talk to us a little bit about how somebody can be prepared to go on vacation and enjoy themselves, but still being cautious when it comes to their health.
Definitely. I think we think about packing our bags and getting everything ready for our vacation, but we don't always think about the important health things. And so for someone with a history of cardiovascular disease, it really is important to first consult with your physician, make sure that your travel plans are good to go and any special considerations that are related to your health condition are in place. And then it's important too to make sure that you have all of those important phone numbers and doctors' names all written down to take with you, just in case of in the event of an emergency. It's easy to leave those, at home and not think about them, but having that written down and taking that with you is important. And then definitely we know medication is important to plan for that, have the amount that you need ready for you to take with you on your trip, but also not put it in that checked bag. We have probably all lost some luggage before. And so really important to keep that with you too. So making sure that, all of those things are really put into place and planned for with your travel arrangements, whether it's by car or by air, are really important too.
Right, and you mentioned traveling, and like you said, some people might go by car, some people might go by air. What are the considerations they should take into account, when traveling to make sure that a plan is in place if they needed a wheelchair or if they need some special accommodation when they're traveling?
Sure. Most airports and airlines are really willing to work with you as a customer. And so it's important that if you do need accommodations, whether that is accommodations for a wheelchair, accommodations for screening and security, that you communicate that in advance. And then also, again, when you get to the airport, like I said, people are more than willing to help traditionally, but being able to communicate that and know the accommodations that would be helpful for you are so important. I also think about when you are traveling and sitting for a long time, that it really increases the risk for blood clots. And so it's really important, whether it is by air or by car, that you're taking those breaks and making sure you're getting some exercise, walking around a little bit, maybe wearing compression socks if you're on an airplane for a long time, because we know that's important too. Taking care of yourself, getting enough water, making sure you have some healthy snacks, but making sure you get active and move around a little bit too.
Yeah, absolutely. And so if, we wouldn't like to think about it, but if there was an issue when we're traveling, what are some of the signs that we need to be looking for?
Sure. So, it's important, just as always, to know what the signs and symptoms are of a heart attack or a stroke. And so really making sure when it comes to a stroke that you know the acronym FAST. I think we've talked about that before on a segment, and, really making sure that you're remembering face drooping, arm weakness, slurred speech, and then time to call 911. So making sure that you're able to call for help if you see the signs or symptoms of a stroke. And then similar, if someone is having chest pains, or having some symptoms of a heart attack, also calling for help and ensuring that you get help fast are so important. Making sure that you're identifying that in others, but also that you are taking those signs and symptoms seriously if you identify them in yourself too, and being able to get to care. I know sometimes, especially when we're on vacation, it's easy to say, oh, I'll deal with that when I get home, but important to make sure that you are putting your health first, even if you are traveling.
Right, for sure. And we've got about a minute left, but I just want to make sure we get out there how people can learn more information, what resources are out there for them.
Absolutely. So heart.org is a wonderful spot to just find out more information, not only about the signs and symptoms that we've talked about, but also just some great lifestyle changes and lifestyle choices that you can make to make sure you are living a healthy lifestyle that can prevent cardiovascular disease. So that website is heart.org. You can check out some resources around Life's Essential 8, which, like I mentioned, are around how to make healthy lifestyle choices, but there's also some fun travel tips on there as well.
Yeah, because you just gave us a lot of information. So if that was written down somewhere, I think it would be very helpful to somebody to be able to revisit those. But Ansley, thank you for being here. As always, great information. And thank you for helping to keep us safe while we're traveling.
Thanks so much.
And we'll be back in just a moment, so don't go away.